Alright guys, so I'm back. Now I'm going to start a little series of videos on how to choose the keywords that are going to make your business work, right? So as a pay-per-call marketer, right, at least in AdWords, right, most of the bulk of your business and your success is going to depend on the keywords you choose, right? The whole name of the game is choosing the keywords that's going to get qualified people that targets people who are qualified to make the purchase for your client and paying low for it, right? That's the two bars. So initially, it's common for people to go for the Google Keyword Planner, right? Like I was showing in the other video, which I will do, but it's something I'll advise on. It is going to be expensive, right? It's something you can tag along. I would say like the broad general keywords, or you can start with whatever you want. Okay, it's something you can first do the heavy stuff. That's like nitty gritty and finding the golden gems and go through, do the heavy research, and then come back and do this. Or you can start with that just to get a feel for how it works out, and that you can actually get calls from these. Like if the niche is good enough, if the business person, if the client you're working for is a good partner, because you have to work like a partner in this, right? They have to be a decent person. They can't be like some loser who can't answer calls properly, who can't close, who's slow, who's not energetic. At the same time, they can't be a dick. They can't be hassling you for calls that what do you call it? Like, for calls that are valid, and they keep on telling you, oh no, that what doesn't count and stuff like that. So there's some moving parts to it. It's not all just like click a button and choose some keywords, obviously. So that being said, there's about like 6 or 7 methods I use for finding keywords, right? So I'm going to share one of them today. And mind you, I'm still learning this. I've only been doing this for like 2-3 weeks, but I've been doing it like every day for almost 10 hours each day. So I have some experience already to share, but the bulk of it is going to be as I'm going on, right? So without further ado, let's go in. So the first keyword discovery method is Semrush. So let me go back, because as you see, I found the whole thing. Drag this down. Alright, go to semrush.com. Semrush.com, close all this shit. Close this. God, let me just start a new thing. Here. Let me do this. Alright, Semrush.com. This is the platform you come in, okay? Now, I did emergency plumber in Brooklyn. Okay, so what you want to do is find a company that ranks in Google listing as well as organic. Just a rule of thumb. If they're ranking in the Google listing, so they have wide citations, and they're ranking organically, so they have a good link profile and all the other shit with SEO, they're pretty good at what they do. They got their online shit down pretty much so, right? If they're ranking for this main keyword. So what you do is, I go and I just take all their words, basically. So Petri Plumbing. Okay, copy that, put it into Semrush. Okay. Just look over a little bit. Okay, they have like 2,000 backlinks, alright. Good stuff. They're getting 292 clicks every day on average. Over 200 clicks every day, organically. Organically. So these guys are bosses, they're getting a lot of, they're fucking shit up. They're making a shit ton of money with their SEO. It's giving them a good return. If they were to buy this traffic on Google AdWords, it'll cost them $4,000 a month. Okay? It takes the keywords that they're ranking for organically, and it sees their CPC, what they're getting clicked for. So amazing. Amazing job. Good shit. So we'll choose them. You go down and you see top organic keywords, and you view the whole thing. So then what you want to do is basically export all their keywords that they're ranking for, which I just did, and you do that at the top here. Now Semrush, out of all the tools, is the only tool that is paid for me. The other only one I use is SpyFu. There's 2 tools. There's like 6 or 7 methods I want to share. 2 are paid, so if you don't like paid shit, don't watch it. So you export here, Excel, keyword report. The fuck is that? Keyword report. What? Finish. What the fuck is going on? Whatever, I'm gonna export it again. Save. 5 minutes, 20 seconds. Alright, so boom. Let me make everything bigger. Alright. Okay. So you see, okay, let's so I'm not gonna do the whole campaign, but I will show you my thought process, which is the main thing here, right? Okay, so let's get into it. I got 10 minutes with you guys. Petri Plumbing. Okay, this is the keyword. They're ranking #1 for it. It's 210 volume per month. Okay, so this is their name. Okay, so we're not gonna go for the name. That's something I do later on. Okay, I go for people's names, but I wouldn't go for their name though, because they're probably already targeting a pay-per-call, or are they? But whatever it is, we're going to take that out. Not take that for now. Emergency plumbing, plumber Brooklyn. Okay, #1. So you take that, make it yellow. Brooklyn Plumbing and Heating. That yellow. Petri, boiler repair Brooklyn. Okay, Brooklyn plumber. 24 emergency plumber. Brooklyn plumbers. 24 Brooklyn plumber NY. Plumber Brooklyn. Water leak detection. 5 my water leak detection. That's not really emergency. Okay, by the way, this campaign is a little different, right? I have a couple of other campaigns that I'm all doing for pay per call, right? Every time they get a validated call, they pay me a certain amount. But this campaign with this plumber, how I'm doing it is I get 20% of the business he makes, okay? So I'm just trusting him with it, and I tell him like, all right, so every job he does, 20% of the revenue he gets from it is mine. Okay, so we're doing it like that, just super performance based. Just trying it. I'm just giving it a shot. Let's see how it works, right? So how this changes the campaign is I don't want him to just get calls for anything, right? I don't want to get him calls for little drain repair, little snake, little things like that. I only really want him to get calls for decent sized jobs, right? At least $500, $600 for his time there, right? So that's one of the reasons I'm only running this on Friday in the middle of the night, because people who call plumbers in the middle of the night, they have to pay more, and if they are willing to pay in the middle of the night, it's probably emergency, so it could be a big deal, things like that, right? So just so you know that what kind of words I'm choosing, but generally I'll be choosing a lot more words, right? Because when you're sending just calls, you don't really filter through if it's a big job, small job, you just send them jobs, right? But since that it's like a performance base in terms of 20% of what I'm gonna, the revenue, I want him to get giant jobs. All right, so yeah. Emergency plumber, Brooklyn, NY. Plumber in Brooklyn. See, these are general words, but the reason I'm still going to target them is because of the timing, right? I'm only doing it the weekend. I'm doing it all over in the middle of the night, right? Even somebody in the middle of the week typing plumbing Brooklyn might not be that good, but somebody typing it in the middle of a Saturday night, plumbing Brooklyn, okay, that woman might need something. So licensed last plumber, okay, plumbers in Brooklyn. There's a lot of Brooklyn plumbers. Oh, obviously, the website I took is in Brooklyn. So I'm probably going to do the same thing for Queens then, with Semrush. Emergency plumber, Brooklyn, NY. 24-hour plumber. You see, this has 2,900 searches, but that's worldwide. It has no location specific. Boiler plumbing. Okay, this is a really good word, because I know one of the words he told me was boilers, because they result in big jobs. Let me just check a little bit. Some of the words he gave me. Whatever, it's not opening. So yeah, guys, I mean, this is pretty much it. You just go through and you see the words that has high intention for people to actually make a call, and then you pick those. Please, whatever you do, don't go too broad. It's very, like, I can't emphasize this enough. Even though I've been only doing this for 2 weeks, I started quite broad. I thought, like, oh, I'm not gonna miss all these calls, and then I got calls. I got what I asked for. I got a bunch of calls, and the ratio was like 1 to 7. For every 7 people calling, one of them was like valid and that was actually getting a job, because they were calling for all kinds of shit. I went too broad, right? Go specific. Just go specific from the start. Too broad if your area that you're going for is very small and it's a small city with a small population, things like that. But we're talking about New York here. You're gonna get calls, right? It doesn't take too much for you to get your phone ringing around here. So you want to get quality over quantity. All right. So having that said, I'm gonna cut it here. But this is what I do, right? I Semrush. The main nuggets in this video is basically go see another company that's actually ranking already. You know, they're just putting their cards on the table for you. You know, there's no finding anything here, right? They are already ranking organically and in the Google listing. Take all their words, search through them, and you'll find so many gems without have to go through all troubles in Google Keyword Planner and stuff, which we're going to do next. All right, so next video. Peace.